And we're back. Welcome into the Wall Street Walk-Ons podcast, brought to you by FanDuel all year long in 2026. And we've got Drew Stevens in the lab today. Bro, what's up?
Nothing. Just I'm out here in Charlotte training, giving the NFL my shot. So
I was gonna say you're gonna take the league by storm.
I'm gonna try. I can imagine there's a lot of athletes that at least want to play in the NFL that don't think they can. So I'm prepared. I like to think, especially going with Coach Woods and being with Coach Woods. I feel like Iowa runs kind of that style. Like of an NFL team. A lot of preparation.
As far as
a lot of planning.
as far as in the building goes, yeah.
Yeah, in the building, yeah.
You mentioned Coach Woods. We'll get to him later because obviously he's a Spartan now, and I'd love to know your thoughts on that. But you're right about, especially for a specialist, me. Torrey was a little bit of a different story. He's got like a generational leg and talent, but just a little guy, same as me, 5'10" kid out of the middle of Iowa. You're just a little kicker from South Carolina, right?
Yeah. North Augusta, born in Georgia.
Okay. Like the Augusta, Georgia?
Yeah, like the Masters. That's where I'm from.
Wow.
So that's how I got there. Is my mom worked at Augusta National. So.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole story. So my parents actually both went to Iowa State. So
okay. Oh, okay. We're learning things. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like how we got to Augusta, because both my parents are from the Midwest. My mom's from Spirit Lake, Iowa, and my dad is from he's lived in Joliet, Minooka, Illinois, if you know where that is. But so my dad played 2 years junior college basketball at Joliet Junior College, and then he transferred to Iowa State. And he was on the roster for like 6 months, and then he got kicked off. And then my mom, she went to Iowa State just as a student on like some leadership scholarship, whatever. And then that's how they met, because one of my dad, I don't remember the exact story. Something like my mom came over to my dad's house because they had a party, and she was like telling him to be quiet or something. I don't know. I think it's something like that how they met. But they met at Iowa State, and then my mom, her degree was in horticulture, so she got a job at the Masters with that degree. So she interned first, and then she got a job there after she interned.
Right out of college, she just moved down to Augusta, started working for Augusta National.
Well, she interned there, and then she's like, "Oh my God, the weather here is so nice. I think I'm going to stay here." And then she got a job at the Masters. So like, yeah, we're going to stay. Cause my dad, ended up doing real estate finance, and he can do that from anywhere. It's not like a Augusta job where like you have to be in Augusta for it.
Sure. So there's a connection. So, okay. I think I always wondered that. How do we find this kid out of the South to come in? Like when your name initially popped up in recruiting, that connects the dots a little bit. That helps fill in the story. And you're right. The weather is, as you figured out over the last 4 years, it's not the same as Augusta, Georgia.
I don't know how you people choose to live in that kind of weather, man. I mean,
don't look. I guess you can look at me now, because theoretically, as an adult, I could have moved away. But yeah, I was born.
You never see the sun half the year.
That's not true. This isn't Alaska, bro.
It's always gloomy and always clouds. Like so I played in the Senior Bowl game, and it was like the first game I played in that was like that cold and that windy, like kind of like Iowa, but the sun was out, so it felt weird, because I was like, normally I connect the two together,
There are you're cutting Iowa a little short there. There are sunny days even when it's cold, but you're right.
There is, but it's like it's rare. It's a rarity. It's like it was every day in Mobile. It was sunny.
Yeah, how was that experience?
It was really good, especially seeing like some guys you like only see on TV, and then when you see them in person, it's like, wow, like I don't want to shit on people, but like it's kind of like a wow, that's what you are kind of thing, or like
Are you talking players or like like media people or what?
yeah, like players. Like I see,
Okay.
like what I mean,
You don't have to name names. I'm not gonna get you.
yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I'll say it. So you know Pavia. So
Yeah.
we played him in the bowl game, but I never got like
Right.
close to him. But like
Sure.
at the Senior Bowl, we were like right next to each other in like media pictures. And I was like, dude, like this guy is short. Like he's
I
real
might be able
short.
to fight you.
Yeah, like well, he's strong though. He's pretty stocky for I don't know what his weigh-in was, but for
I
he's
think
a
he's like
solid
205 or something.
he's
Yeah.
a solid 5'9". And he's not like fat either. Like he's built.
Talented too. I mean, he certainly is
Yeah,
for all the
he could throw it. Like he's got a good arm. It's that's almost impressive because like I'm like, there's no way this guy is gonna be able to throw the ball. Like at all.
he can
Like he's
sling it.
definitely like a running quarterback. And then you see him throwing, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess that's why he's a Heisman finalist right there.
yeah, I think he's maximizing his talent. I mean, he certainly found it this year. And there was a couple throws against you guys in that second half where they were like, "Fuck it, we got to throw. We got to take some shots here."
It's also like sometimes like some guys are big names because they're like different, like they're like wiry guys or they really study the game. Like I saw Texas's guy, I think it's like Taft or something. He's a safety. If you
Okay.
saw him walking down the street, you would think he was just like a regular dude. But
Yeah.
there was a it was like one of those things where like some people are just really talented at like certain things, like just naturally. And I feel like he's one of those guys. And I'll explain why. So there was a ping pong tournament, and you know how it's like sponsored by Panini, like the
Yeah.
Senior Bowl. It's like the cards. Well, they hosted this tournament from 8 to 9. It was like an event, and the winner got like a $14,000 box like of the cards. Yeah. So like a bunch of dudes were signing up and stuff, and this guy, I like peppered with him just back and forth, like just warming up. Just, I mean, we didn't play each other. We never ended up playing each other. But he got to the finals, and it was like the dude who won. He was like the Oregon linebacker. You could tell he had played ping pong before. But this Taft guy who just looks like your everyday average Joe, like it was almost more impressive that he got there because you could tell he had never played ping pong before. He was just kind of just out like quicknessing, like he was holding the paddle like let's say this butter knife's the paddle. It's not like you would hold it like this or you'd go like that. He was doing this like the whole time, like just
And he made the finals.
yes, he was because no matter what you sent at him, it was coming back. Like it was almost like he just out peppered people. Like, cause he returned it the same way every time. But
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason he lost the finals is because the dude playing like knew how to play ping pong, and
Yeah, he was legit.
you could tell he'd played before because he was ripping it. He used to beat me.
Generally,
he was ripping it.
generally the specialists, the kickers, we're supposed to be the guys who are good at that stuff because
No,
we have
yeah,
all the time.
because we had a Top Golf event, and the guys in the other bear like they're like, man, all specialists are the same. You all just good at the weird stuff. You got too much time on your hands, like stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we got to be good at something, man. Because if we're not going to
Well,
be
there's just
big and
the way I
athletic,
explain. Yeah, the way I explain it to people is you can't for 2 to 2.5 hours just like I think there's legitimately some people out there who think that at practice Drew Stevens just lines up a ball and kicks it for 2 hours.
yeah,
And that's just not the way it works.
no,
We've got, and I'd love to hear actually the evolution of that and how Coach Wood sort of approached that with you guys. I know there's a lot of input from your side as well, just from playing under Coach Woods and how much he came to us asking about stuff. And every guy sort of has the way that they work, but yeah, there's just not like you get your reps in, periods over. So like you're not needed the rest of practice. There's no team stuff. Sometimes you're like, well, I got to find something to do. I can watch practice, but we have an hour left. So let's go play specialist golf for 30 minutes or something like
yeah.
that.
That was one of the things I honestly was like. It was like I want to say like the annoying dad part of Coach Woods is like there'd be so many times where like okay, we only have like a punt period to watch in practice in the film, or like,
Uh-huh.
okay, at practice there's one specialist period. Like, what are we gonna do today? And I kid you not, it did not matter. We always figured out something to do the whole practice, and I'm like, oh wow, that's what we did. Like, because Coach Woods always filled that empty space. Because I really feel like he like hated the idea of that. Like, he did not want to think like, oh, the specialist just stood around all day. Like, he tried to fight that I don't know what you call
Yeah.
it, like stereotype. He tried to fight that,
Yeah.
and I think he did a
Yeah.
pretty good job at it because we never were doing nothing.
So that answers my question a little bit of how things have gone, and him fighting against that stereotype, I might have something to do with that going way back. Me, not just me, but me and the other guys around our time. So Coach Woods took over my senior year as like specialist guy, not just
Special
special teams, but like they added the 10th coach. So he was no longer tight ends and special teams. He was just special teams. And so for my
Oh,
senior year, it was the first year that when we would go to meetings, he was in the room with us.
oh.
So
Wait, so was
you
that the
don't
year
know.
they added Coach Hodge?
Um, oh God.
Because he's tight ends coach now.
I don't. Jesus, good question. No, because Brian was our tight ends coach my senior season, I believe.
Oh,
So yeah, there was some
okay.
shifting that went around. Anyway, you don't know a world where you go to meetings and there's no coach in there and you run the film
No,
by
I don't.
yourself. Yeah. So when I came
Even
in,
at the Senior Bowl, like, we didn't have a meeting room, which I was like, oh wow. So this is probably like what it's like for normal guys like at other schools. Because so I was with the Michigan State punter, and I was with like the Georgia snapper and punter and BYU. Because like specialists, I mean, obviously you would know, like we all kind of like hang out together just because there's a lot to relate to. It's easy. Uh, but some of them were saying, like the Georgia guys were saying, like they didn't even meet, like they had no coaches, and even at the Senior Bowl, like there was no meeting room. I'm like, wow, like this is how it like normally is. Like, what am I
yeah.
supposed to do with this time? Uh,
So yeah. So for reference, like, I mean, it wasn't too long ago. I'm getting kind of old. I'll be 32 this year, but you know, uh, 7, 8 years ago, the way it worked was, I guess 9 years ago now, is we would walk in there and it was basically on us, the older guys, to kind of run the meeting. We would watch everybody's rep. It was pretty quick. It was definitely quick compared to, I guarantee, how many times Coach Woods would go over it. And
oh,
if you
dude.
were if you were looking at like a 75-minute meeting period, sometimes those things are like an hour 25. I guess Coach Reed isn't there. Sometimes the linebackers would be like an hour and 40 minutes. The linebackers
Oh my
would
god,
crawl
yeah,
out of the
Coach Parker. Coach
oh
Parker goes a long time in that film.
yeah, the specialists are gone from dinner and the linebackers are still meeting, stuff like that. Um, we had plenty of days, Drew, where we would be out of that meeting room in like 22 minutes. It was in and out, and we were over to the
See,
lounge.
there was times where I was like, okay, like this, we got no film to watch.
There's
Like,
nothing left. Yeah.
we would find something with Coach West. I'm telling you, we would find something. We would find something.
Oh,
It did not like there were times we would fill our meeting space with Hall of Fame speeches just to watch the Hall of Fame speeches.
man.
Uh, and oh my God, I feel like I can say this out because I'm out of the program, but watching punt period, it did not need to take that long. I hope that does
Brutal.
not offend Coach Woods, but holy
It,
smokes,
it,
we would watch the same punt over and over, like 30 different angles. Again, you're like, because you would go into the meeting, you're like, oh, we only have like a punt period today.
yep.
We only punt and field goal. That's it. Field goal would take. It was really just punt that took so long. Like field goal would be done like 10 minutes, depending on how well we did. It could vary,
Yeah, that
but
changed things. Yeah.
if there was like a bad punt period, it damn near took like an hour to get through, like 12 punts.
So I don't think he would take offense to that. And you sort of have to understand where he's coming from too. And that is like, I mean, like those guys are such workaholics like take advantage of every minute. Like it's the same kind of mentality they're trying to like instill into you guys as athletes and students and stuff. And it would be very tough, not just for Coach Woods, but for like a lot of coaches, any good coach to be like, okay, we've got an hour carved out for everybody to meet. You guys can head out 30 minutes early. It burns a fire in them like they aren't doing enough, right? Like they're gonna miss something. They're not, like something is gonna, if you miss a field goal in a game now, it's because over the off season or during spring ball, we didn't take advantage of that extra 2 to 3
Yeah,
hours that we had.
yeah.
It
I mean,
that
I get it. I get it. Like, he's the coach. He's trying to do everything in his power, like, to
the
answer every
prac the
question.
practice stuff is what would have annoyed me more because and I would
Having to do
fight Coach.
something the whole time.
Yeah, I would fight so many people on that, and again, it was a lot more lax when we were there. 2.5 hour, like it just does not take, even if you have a couple periods to warm up for, even if you've got team stuff at the end that they're gonna like simulate. It's not, I don't think it's smart. And maybe you can tell me how much volume you like to get in a practice, what your number was on a specific day, if you had a period, if you didn't. I just think that it was, for me, it was always quality over quantity, right? Like if I
Yeah.
snap until my low back and my hamstrings start to feel a little tight, that's not positive for me. There's no good happening there. So how did you approach that? How did you guys have a number? Was there, I guess when we were there, it was like Tuesday was punt day, Wednesday was field goal day. What did that look like for you when you had field goal, when you didn't, when you had
Like
kickoff,
a
when you
like a
didn't?
like a in-season sorta thing, or, like,
Yeah,
spring ball?
in season.
In season, there would be kickoff period Mondays, and then a punt return period Mondays.
Sounds
So,
right.
usually on Mondays, he doesn't like to let us hit balls, so I would drive swing, uh, those, and then punt return would be off jugs, obviously. Then Tuesdays, there'd be a field goal period, and then a kickoff return period. This is for me. There's a
Yep.
punt period right after the field goal period, I think, as well. Um, or no, it's before it. It's before it. Gosh, I'm
Punts
gonna get
first on Tuesdays.
yeah.
You're 2 months out of the program and you've already forgot.
I
You're
know. Well, I haven't done it every day now
I
anymore.
know.
Uh,
You'll be
but
shocked
yeah,
at how
I
quickly
kick
things kind of flip.
Tuesdays, and then Wednesday I do field goal, kickoff, and then kickoff return, where I'd have to kick uh, all those periods. And then Thursday we have off. Friday I'd hit an onside kick or a mortar, like a usually I would try to simulate what the other kickers' kicks are in like a
Yeah.
walk through kickoff return period, but that's all the kicking I do in a week. Which
But
I'm a rep guy. I like to hit a lot of kicks, and I
you
get what
do.
he was trying to do. He's trying to like save my leg, but I'm just more so like if I fail, I'd rather it be because I'm injured, not
Because
because
you were
I'm
up.
not feeling good about my kicks, just because I didn't feel like I got enough.
So was it based off of feel, or were you like a number guy? Were you trying to get 60 reps,
I'm a feel
okay.
guy. Like whenever I hit a ball and I feel like I have all the answers, that's when I feel good.
Okay. All right.
But just by Wednesday, like I'm better about like Mondays and Tuesdays. If it doesn't feel good, like I can stop. But Wednesday comes and I'm not feeling good, like I try not to stop until I am like not necessarily feeling good, but feel like I have like the answers to the test. Like
Yeah. Can you describe, so I think there's people listening right now, like, what does he mean, the answers? Like, didn't he kick the week before? Like, what is the difference between, can you explain that?
yeah, well, like not all makes are created the same. Like I'm trying to think of an example, but at least right now, like I feel really good about my game. Maybe not necessarily like maybe there's some days I'm not striking the ball as good. Like in terms of ball contact, for me, ball contact's a big thing. That's why I think flipping from the kicking ball or from the college ball to the NFL ball is more of an advantage for me personally because I just felt like whenever I hit like a smooth end over end ball, it usually went in. I can't imagine a lot of times I missed where I did hit a ball like that. Um, but more so like the things like right now, if I miss to the right, it's literally because my leg doesn't like lock out in time. Like that's my thing right now. But I have the answers. Like I know what I have to do. It's more so like times when like a lot of this happened my sophomore year, like where I was just like I did not know, like I was missing, and I was like, I don't know why I'm missing. Like obviously it's
Mm.
just not going in. You could say that, but like I don't know what technically is going on that's making me miss because
You just described.
there's never one thing I could point out that would be like, okay, if I do that, then it will go in. Like it usually
Yeah.
then something else would pop up. And you hate feeling like that before games, but I mean, I haven't felt like that in a while. I like to think that I have my game pretty figured out right now. But yeah,
You just described the like the last mountain that a specialist climbs in feeling like they've really like matured in the position, which is
yeah,
when you're hitting a ball, whether it's a punt or a kick, or even if you're a long snapper, if it's a snap, you basically have like every guy has like okay, that was satisfactory or it wasn't, right?
yeah, yeah.
And the moment you figure out, and you can feel it in the moment, you know what went wrong. It doesn't mean that stuff isn't going to go wrong, but when you can diagnose it quickly and you can then sometimes approach it immediately on the next rep and focus in on that piece of the kick or the snap or the punt, ooh, the game feels a lot better because
Yeah.
it's you know what you need to fix.
It feels
And before that,
way better when you know
yeah,
what you have to do for
yeah.
sure.
What was it, just experience for you that got you over that hump, or just like because you similar to me, you were in there early, young,
Yeah,
and man, sometimes you're just out there doing it when you're a young guy and you're like, shit, I hope it goes well,
yeah, that's
Um,
yeah. Um, yeah, like I would say it definitely is experience. Like just and maybe not so like as much like obviously technically you're always trying to get better, but I just I mean at the end of the day nobody cares like what you do to make it go in. And I think the quicker I realized that like everybody's different, like don't try to be like somebody else, like don't try to copy somebody else because it's not gonna work. Like it won't work for you all the time, you know. Like you could take bits and pieces and apply it to your game, but you have to be your own person. And like for example, like I tried to copy Tori's off-season method my sophomore year, uh, and he's like 26, like or 25 at the time, and so he's old, so he's not taking a lot of reps. And I think that's
uh-huh.
like the biggest thing for me, like that I think happened in my sophomore year. Obviously, like people are gonna say I was just immature, which maybe, but I don't think that affected my performance because I performed as a freshman immature. But when I was a freshman, I kicked like every day because that's a lot. Like it went on like a lot of self reflection. Like okay, like what did I do differently between my freshman year and my sophomore year that like because I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and I have more reps under my belt. So like what's going on and like so that was I mean biggest thing, and I can say this now because there's nobody that can police it, but when I was a sophomore, I copied Tori's off-season method. Where I would kick like 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week as we gradually built up, but just trying to keep my leg fresh for the whole season. Uh, just because I mean, you were in the building with Coach Ferentz. He said, "Have you ever heard the quote where he's like, if you want to be the best, sometimes you got to study the best or something?" Or
Yeah, yes.
yeah, well, I was studying the best, and I was essentially trying to be Tori, like in
There's
that
some
aspect
flaws
of
with
the
that.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not me. That's not I'm a guy that has to hit a lot of reps, and maybe that'll change over the years with more experience. But especially being a feel guy, like I just gotta kick until it feels good, you know, like
Yeah, and
and that's
I
yeah,
relate to that a lot. I relate to that a lot because I was similarly to you. We're just like in the deep specialist kind of lingo where it is what it is. I was a field guy as well, but I did not need a lot of reps. So for me, if it was a punt day, I'd warm up 3 or 4 at 8, 3 or 4 at 10, 3 or 4 at 12. Give me 1 or 2 snaps at 14 and a half. Let's run, period. Let's go. Like, I'm good. From like walking out onto the field. And then the rest of the day, we're talking like 25, 30 balls the entire practice. And if the majority of those are hitting the spot where you talked about, where you're like, okay, for today I've figured it out, cut it off. I'm done. I'm good. But some people like to feel that over and over. Some people like to, and it is what it is. And I would always tell the young snappers when I was an older guy, I was like, hey, I know that like I've been the starter for 3, 4 years, whatever year it was. And like, it seems like I have things figured out. Please do not like take all the reps you need if you feel like you need them, because I am not a good example of kind of the trap that you fell into with Tori. It was like Tori has this, he's such a natural with his leg ability, right? And he just has a gift. I mean, he's punting for an NFL team, and it was like, Ray Guy, Lou Groza. I always mix the two up. Ray Guy winner, like just from the time he came in, doesn't even know what American football is, and then he comes in, he's just sometimes the naturals you can't just like, I'll just be like them, because you just don't have.
Okay, so pooch punting, like that. This is the example I really love to use. So obviously Australians are really natural with when they drop the nose or like they hit the end over end, like pin punt ball, Well, I remember Tori like hit a bad one, which he never does. Like he's one of the best punters I've ever seen at dropping the nose and like hitting the end over end like pin punt. And in practice, like he never messes up really in practice. I mean, at least to the point where it's like a bad punt. Well, he hit one day it was like he like bellied it, and I remember Coach Woods like tried to coach him on it. He's like, look, coach, like I'm not changing it. Like it's not happening. I mean, that's it. That's all. And then we just kept going in the film, and he hit like the next one's perfect. He's like, and Coach Woods just was kind of silent. He was just like, okay. It's like kind of like that. Like nobody cares as long as it's good. Like when it's bad, that's when you're gonna start to hear it,
including the coaches. You're 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's what I was gonna lead into. About that is, I feel like you as an athlete, like the quicker I realize, like you're gonna get like you're not gonna be able to please everybody. You can't please everyone. Like I feel like as a sophomore, and this might be a controversial statement, I was literally like, okay, I've had enough of getting yelled at. Like whatever he says, I'm doing it, even if I don't think it's right. But I applied that to not Coach Woods. Like I applied it to my kicking coach. I applied it to, you know who Jason Baker is? He's
of course I know Bake. We haven't had him on the show yet, but we need to have Bake on. Yeah.
You did have Bake on the show. He'd give you some stuff, but
he's giving me all the stuff. Trust me.
Sometimes things would overlap and collide, and I don't think it. I mean, I sometimes you got to be able to just take it and then fix it yourself. Like you just got to figure it out.
It's such a struggle. Yeah, it's that right there. You have to figure it out, because it is such a struggle. Like you said, every specialist, every snapper. I remember dealing with this really early on when I got into the snapping camps, like when I was going to Coles, and I was still kind of learning. Like I was ranked high-ish and was like theoretically one of the guys that other people should have been looking at, but I felt imposter syndrome because I had not been doing it as long as some of these other guys. And so I would watch every single other guy go on like charting sessions and stuff, and I'd be like, man, should I be doing that? Should I set my feet up? Like, should I approach the ball that way? Should I hold the ball that way? And at the time, because you're young and inexperienced, it's like, maybe. But then you realize at some point, like, dude, it's working. Whatever you're doing is working for you. Everybody's going to look a little different. Everybody's ball is going to fly a little different. Everybody's body lean and position. It's all going to be just so unique to yourself. And you kind of have to just figure it out. And it really is a struggle as a specialist to have, frankly, Coach Woods, unbelievable special teams coach, best in the country. but he wasn't a kicker. He wasn't a snapper, really.
And I think over the years, he figured out more and more about it.
Sure.
Like, he learned more and more. Like, between my freshman year and my senior year, there was a pretty big difference in, like, in
That's
terms of, like,
cool.
what he knew about, like, that aspect. Because you make a good point, though. Like, at the end of they're a special teams coach, not a specialist coach. But I think Coach was got better at, like, learning that, at least in my 4 years there, seeing it. But at the end of the day, like, that is, like, one of the things that was, like, a struggle for me is, like, how does he know, like, what I should be changing? Like, he was a
When he's
linebacker.
never kicked a ball, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, and
exactly.
I remember he would, like, sorry, Coach was if you're hearing this, but I remember he would, like, try to teach me, like, things that, like, Keith wanted to do, and I'm like,
Sure. You
"I
got
could
me?
hear you." Yeah, dude, my internet here is so bad.
All right, we'll
I'm
we'll
gonna
try and work through it.
Yeah. I hope it's not messing up your recording.
No, I can all this on the back end is I can take care of. Maybe a good time. I'm just gonna run the ads real quick, and then hopefully it'll stabilize. It also might just kick you back out. You're gonna go behind the scenes with me for a second, but let's
Sweet.
just let's see if it's good for after we do these.
Hey, it's Peter Harmon, the food guru, here to talk about Gray's Gourmet to Go. At Gray's Gourmet to Go, we are madly and passionately in love with three things: chicken lips, pizza, and great food to go. Chicken lips are the most beloved food in Iowa City. And if you don't know what a chicken lip is, you're really missing out. Our second passion is pizza. We're hell-bent on making great pizza. Yeah, you can get cheap pizza anywhere. But if you're a real pizza aficionado, you gotta try our meatball pizza. It's made with a natural starter. And like sourdough bread, it's soft and crispy and light as air. And the third thing that we're wildly and passionately in love with is great food to go. We believe you want to feed your family something great at home, but you're too busy with life to stop and cook. That's why we built Gray's Gourmet to Go. So the next time you need to feed the gang and you don't feel like cooking, just come to graysgourmettogo.com.
At Allana Golf, the game never stops. Featuring an exclusive PuttView putting green and 5 4-site simulator bays, the most advanced technology in the area, designed to bring the golf community together. Allana Golf is a place where beginners feel welcome and experienced players stay challenged. Perfect for practice, lessons, and fun any time of year. Whether you're chasing lower scores or just chasing fun, Allana Golf is where every swing counts. Call now to book your simulator. Allana Golf. Everything you need.
Rising utility rates combined with Eagle Point Solar's residential manufacturer's rebate program make this the perfect time to go solar. For a limited time while supplies last, purchase a residential solar array and receive a rebate check of 20 to 30% cash back. Hurry, this electrifying offer won't last long. Request a free solar analysis estimate today and take control of your high electric bill once and for all. Consult with an Eagle Point Solar energy consultant or visit eaglepointsolar.com for full details.
All right, and we're back. Maybe Drew will be good. We're gonna try and finish it out. We got a good half hour, and if everything goes to shit, we started talking about Coach Woods and the things that are wrong with how he was trying to teach, and then we got kicked out. It was like, oh, yeah, maybe Coach is he's feeling it from the ether. He's kicking us out of this conversation. I think he would actually appreciate hearing that though. When he took over, obviously he's, like you said, even from your freshman to senior year, he learned a lot. My first year, he essentially came to us and was like, "Hey, the younger snapper, he's having a problem with this. What do you think it is?" Like he was essentially on the same level as us coaching wise when it came to the specifics of special teams. It is interesting to hear you adopted that mindset your sophomore year, and it's one of the things I do want to talk to you about. Assuming the internet gods will help us, and it's sort of, you had crazy, first of all, that you're a 4-year guy in an era where people get like
same school 4 years. Yeah.
Same school for just 4 years. You're an anomaly in the modern era of college football. Amazing freshman season. Wow, we got this new kicker, young kid. He's going out there, hard position mentally, but he goes out 16 of 18, led the Big Ten percentage, I think like top 15 nationally. And then the sophomore season was like, there were some struggles. And then junior year came back. I think we did, what did we do in 2024? Pretty good, right? Like
87.
yeah, 87%, fourth in the Big Ten. And then this year, early in the season, some struggles again. There's a few things, and I have my own thoughts about that. You're not the only guy in the operation. We'll leave it at that sometimes. But what are your thoughts on that? How do you look back on those 4 years now that they're complete and kind of process all of it?
Well, we already kind of touched on it. Is I think my freshman year, first of all, like there was a hunger my freshman year because Coach was preached like you need somebody to battle with, like truly battle with, because it'll make you better. Like it'll push you to like your limit, because I mean, I obviously I came to Iowa because there was an open kicking spot. Because especially being there now, like I know how hard it is to beat out a guy who's already started in the program, which maybe on paper it doesn't look as difficult to do as maybe like some fans think. But like the guy's already been there and the team likes him. And for a coach to have to start this brand new kid that comes in over you, I mean, you have to be not just better, but better by like a lot. And realizing that now, like, makes me like my decision to come to Iowa and even more. I mean, apart from the fact that my mom liked it and just it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, honestly. Like, I didn't realize until now, like, the kind of decision that was made. But the weight room at Iowa is the number one thing I think that for me personally was for me, because they make you essentially build up. Like they say, if you ask the coaches, like they'll be like, no, it was all you, but they make it really hard to not get you in a physically perfect stature, I guess. But yeah, like the hunger my freshman year, I think made me that good. Plus, I'm telling you, I think it's like it's a rep thing. Like it really matters how many reps for me I take at certain times. Because my freshman year, I remember I would go. I mean, I could say this now, but I would go in the indoor after like bad days of practice, like at night, and I would flip the lights on. I would figure it out. Like I was not. I mean, too important of a time of my life for me to not figure it out, and it's a judgment-free zone too. Because even if like, I mean, this is just the way I think. Like, even if coach says he's not like evaluating you, like you're working on stuff in practice, like he's still visually seeing you work, like when you're by yourself, unjudgmental, you could figure out, you could try things, you could do whatever you want to figure it out. And my sophomore year, I tried, like, he's like, hey, like, you're getting older, you need to chill. And then I see Tori like not taking any reps because he's going to his senior year. And I also think like he had surgery on his knee, so he was taking way less reps. So like, I think my sophomore year, like I just did not kick enough going into that season. Especially I think understanding now, I would have told myself to like just hit a better ball, like because I was in touchback mode because my whole year of high school was just hit it as far as you can. And now, but like sometimes when on field goals, if you do that, it'll like come out funky looking, like funky spin, which makes it really hard to aim in the Big Ten. Like it worked down south where I'm at, where there's like no wind in high school, because I mean, it would just go in. But if you hit like a slow rotator, the wind would whip it across.
There's going to be some lateral movement on those.
And it comes out lower. Like it comes out like a lower trajectory. And obviously I had some kicks blocked that year too. And then my junior year, I was like, that was the reflection phase. I was like, okay, what did I do different? And I just came to the conclusion, like, I'm just going to do what I got to do to put it through the uprights. And I thought I had to take a lot of reps to figure things out. And then my senior year, this year I think is different than like the other 3 years, just because obviously I had a different operation, which I'm not blaming, but that was something like that's like tough to think about. Just because I was so used to Luke and like Tori's rhythm And then we had
it's hard to explain, but it matters.
Then we had like snapper battles and like, not to say I was thinking about it back in my stance, but I'm like, I mean,
But you do.
It crosses my mind. Like it would cross my mind. Like where is it? Like, I mean, the rhythm.
Where are those laces at, baby?
Yeah, like I had basically the same operation for 3 years before that, and then it switched.
Elkin was so good at PAT snaps too.
Yeah, and I was like 78% this year.
No, it wasn't a bad year by any means. There was just a little bit of
If you-
figuring out period.
It's like if you take away the 66 yarder that got blocked, then I'd be like 81, and then I had like 2 kicks go directly over the upright, and if those go in, I'm like 87 again. So
How
I
about
mean, it was really close to being good.
talk to me about that Penn State block before half?
Yeah, so I mean,
what I need to know everything. Like the mindset. Are you guys like, yeah, give it to us? Because here's how I'm gonna give you quickly my mindset, because people were heavy on both sides of this. Why the fuck are we sending them out there? That's on the coaches. That's like that was gonna get blocked the whole time. That's a stupid decision. And I'm on the other side of it, like, man, the specialists are chomping at the bit to get that opportunity to try and put one through at the and coach was emotional about that shit. And I'm sure you guys, he probably talked to you guys about it too. He felt like he let the team down on that one. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I hope one of them was like, dude, like, coach, no, thank you for letting us attempt it. But I'd love to hear your side of it.
yeah, I mean, I really wish it just didn't get blocked. I mean,
Did it feel good?
yeah, because if you were there at like the game and you saw I hit one before that was short, right?
Right.
Well, most people probably lost confidence on that, but I gained it because I knew that I like hit like a fast spinny. Like I knew I had way more in the tank.
I tried to tell people on the show, like, yeah.
I was like, oh, that landed like back of the end zone and I hit it that badly. Like if I hit it like good, like thump it, it's probably getting there. I'm probably gonna make it. Which is why I really wish it didn't get blocked. Like I honestly, like I think I would have made that, which would have been crazy.
I do too.
And it's not like Coach Ferentz has to see it in practice, which is the big thing why like maybe my sophomore year and freshman year, like he didn't give me as many 50+ chances because I wasn't doing that good from 50+.
Right.
But I made like a 63 yarder or something like pretty easily, not like bragging or anything in a Kinnick practice. I made it.
People tried to argue with me when I like that. Sorry to cut you off, but people tried to argue with me that you didn't have the leg strength. And I wanted to fucking come through the Twitter screen and punch people in the face. Like, why would we send him back there? He clearly can't make it. Did you see the practice form? I'm like, dude, I wish you guys, I am tearing my own brains out.
That's what I said.
Drew
The
can
average
make
fan
that
probably
kick.
lost confidence, but yeah,
No,
I mean, I made those in practice. Like I mean, I also like I don't think I passed the eye test for how far I can like kick the ball. Like if you saw me, you'd be like,
you're unassuming as hell, dude.
Yeah, you don't kick the ball that far. I mean, I'm like just average looking kicker, but like I mean, I'm gonna brag a little bit. I don't like to do it, but like the college track man, like it tells you like the ball speed and it has the good from distance. Yep. So Simon, who is he's like the head or one of the head guys for TrackMan, like in the football field. So I went to a camp in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we were just like, I love to pick his brain because he sees like everybody. Like he like personally trains with Harrison Butker for the Chiefs, and he's pretty good. Like, and he trains with Justin Tucker, like personally, like so. He like trains with all these dudes, so I always like to pick his brain. And I'm picking his brain in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's like a college camp for Coles, and I did that in the summer this past year. And we're just shooting the shit on the side, and he's like, "Yeah," because one of the kids, so Dragon Kesich used to play in Minnesota. He's a lefty. He broke the TrackMan record at that Coles Gatlinburg for like the furthest good from. like in a practice session or whatever. And then he's like, I was like, wow, dude, that's crazy. He's like, so you know who like holds the good from distance in college? And I was like, no, who? And he's like, he goes like that. So I'm like, I have the furthest good from distance in college football ever since there's TrackMan. It was like 74, I think, and I did it in Kinnick. The video's out there.
I would love to see it. Your leg got there was you gained strength, dude.
I know.
You got seriously, like, there was a noticeable jump where it was like, holy shit, this kid put some distance on his leg over the off season. It was cool.
Which I really like. I credit all that to the strength staff because, I mean, obviously, like anybody can gain weight, but I think it's very hard to gain that much weight like I did and still be like the same speed and like, if not faster. Like, I mean, I'm up right now like 40 pounds from when I first got in there, and
Damn.
yeah, but I'm also faster. I'm also stronger. I could jump higher. Like I could do all these things better, and I weigh 40 pounds more. It's like I could be the exact same technically, and I'd probably still hit it like 20 yards farther than I used to.
Sure. Yeah, it was an interesting kind of back and forth as far as your kicks go. And that one kick, I so badly wanted it to, for the game as well, because it was sort of an important twist there at the end of the
Yeah, I
half. It
know.
was like, God damn, I'm glad you guys ended up pulling that one out. Talk to me about the Indiana one. You're going to look back on your career and you're going to remember kicks. And I feel like the Indiana one is probably, knowing, just as a former specialist, knowing that's probably going to be one of them. What happened there?
I mean, that's obviously the first kick I think about when people ask me, like, if you could have any kick back in your career, what would you take? And I mean, that's the one that comes to my mind because people were telling me after the game, like after the fact, like a few days later, like people were getting ready to storm the field, and I've always wanted to be a part of a field rush. So then it like really crushed me when I like realized that it was like partially my fault.
Well, they could have still won the game, by the way, but
yeah, it also sucked too because I was having a good game. Like I made a 40, and I made a 53 or 54.
Well, yeah,
and then I just missed in that moment. Plus, I also like, this plays back to like when I and Luke, especially my junior year, when I had Luke and Ty together, like I didn't have a single like even hair wrong with like any op the entire year. Like it was always just boom, boom. Like, so I almost got used to it, like used to the perfection. So then this year comes, and I'm not saying like Bryant was pretty good on field goal snaps as well. And so like Ty's still a good holder, but like the timing is off. Like sometimes like it's not like the same rhythm. And then that kick, you would know, and I know, maybe not like a regular fan would know, but he snapped the 6, which it could be snapper's fault or holder's fault, whatever you want to call it. But it was a 6. And when he set it down, he spun it and it got to 9. And if the laces are pointed a certain direction, it'll like take the ball more, which I'm not saying it took it that much. Like I could still make that kick, but just whenever I see that, because I'm not used to it, it like I would like freak out because I'm like, oh my God, like what's it gonna do? Like what's the ball gonna do?
There's subconscious micro adjustments that you try to make.
Yeah. Which after that kick, I literally set the ball on the sticks like that. And I was like, all right, what would I have done differently? So if it happens again, like
yeah.
Yeah.
I know all about op changes, and I didn't personally have to deal with the consequences of them. I was the first of 3 in the op for 4 different operations in 4 years. So that was tough. We did a lot of off-season work to get ready. Let's see, is that correct? I had 4 different punters in college, and I had 4 different holders in college for 4 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. So there was a lot of op changer.
On that note, so since I started kicking, which freshman year in high school is the first time I ever kicked a football, I've never freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school, junior, senior, freshman, junior, senior year of college, I've never had the same backup for more than 1 year. So it's been a different guy.
It's tough. Man, that's wild. So you guys get the dub. You beat Vandy, go out on a win. It's got to feel good.
Yeah.
Now we're prepping for the league. It sounds like the way you talk about it is like, talk about having the answers, being able to find it, reflection on a couple of the lesser good years. They weren't bad years necessarily. You've got to feel pretty good right now. You said before we hit record that you're training in Carolina. Talk to me about what prep looks like right now. Your expectations. When did you you talk about the dreaming of playing in the NFL, but like I was going to say earlier, like it's not really a reality until a couple years in. You're like, wait a second. I might actually have a chance. So talk to me about the prep and where you feel like you're at and your outlook as far as, heading into this draft in April.
I'm training in Charlotte, obviously, and Charlotte. So me and Keith Duncan actually have the same Charlotte kicking coach. That's another like thing that got me to Iowa. Is I kicked with him.
I did know that
at a training session with my current kicking coach. But I think like that's why I feel like I'm so good like right now, because I've never trained like this before, because I have my kicking coach there to give me direct feedback in person, like 3 or 4 days every single week. So it's like I don't have to sit there for like hours and like figure it out like myself. Like I got direct feedback from a guy who coaches a bunch of other NFL kickers himself. So, but like a typical schedule would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday is like planned kicking sessions. And Fridays usually with like a bunch of other college dudes, and we train at UNC Charlotte's field. We kind of like simulate that like it would be like at the combine or like pro day or the Senior Bowl. But that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. I have gone out a few times with like his bigger groups, because he has like a thing called Spec Ops, which is like his big group. He does it like once a month. Or there's like bigger group sessions on the weekends because more kids are available because they like aren't in school. So like I may kick on like a Saturday or a Sunday too. But then on the fitness side, because I mean I'm not lifting at Iowa anymore, but we still take it into account. So Monday lift at it's called Motion Fitness. Luke Kuechly, do you know who that is?
I know who Luke Kuechly is, yeah.
He lifts at the gym I lift at right now. So like, I see him every day. But Monday lift, it's like 10 to 11:30. Tuesday lift 10 to 11:30. Wednesday is 10:30 to 11:15. It's Pilates. So it's like, dude, I'll never hate on anybody for Pilates ever again. That crap is hard. That crap is hard.
Yeah.
Plus, it's one of those things where, like, the teacher explained it to us after this. Like, the reason athletes think it's so hard is because they, like there's no levels. Like, there's no, like, hey, you load a plate on each side and then lift 8 times. Like, it's like a max out. Like, whatever you can do to the best of your ability.
The more athletic and the more fit you are, and also with the mindset of an athlete, the further you can take it. Whereas like
you gotta go as far as you can.
Yeah, Sally, the 43-year-old, isn't trying to like run herself into the dirt with the workout.
Because I lift. Well, I lift with other kickers and punters, or I do Pilates with the other kickers and punters. But then there's like a few other like girls that like sign up for the class or whatever, and I'm looking over and they're like. They're not dying, they're not nothing, and I'm over here like I'm about to die, like I'm about to collapse in this carousel into the pit, they call it. But yeah, Pilates is something different, man. If
It's
you want
good
to
for
stay in
you.
shape, do some of that.
It's good for you.
Um,
So you
yeah,
feel
then
good.
Thursday, Fridays, it's the same. It's like 10 to 11:30 lift again.
And so it's all eyes set on, I assume, pro day and then the draft, right?
Yeah, and then in my situation, I might not even do a pro day.
Really?
Yeah, because well, in terms of projections, like obviously I have an agent. He
Yeah.
he pays for my apartment, my training, and all that. He kind of like plans out like my flights and stuff. And he
Sure.
told me that based off like what he hears from scouts, that this kicking class isn't as strong like as maybe some others.
Sure.
And it's also unique because there's also more than normal teams this year that could be looking for a kicker potentially.
Wow. So you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, like I kind of am lucky in a way. Like my chances are really good. But the kicking class also isn't as strong as it has been usually. And scout feedback has me in like the top 3 kickers with like basically everybody that like
Yeah.
says, especially, and then it also helps me because the other 2 guys that are in like the top kind of don't really have a lot of experience in like the bad elements. Like
That's always nice coming from Iowa. Yep.
yeah. So like, and I mean the Packers, I've heard like maybe look in the Bills, just
You're
like
gonna kick
from
in a
North.
goddamn blizzard, bro.
I know. I do not like the cold, but unfortunately, that may be where I end up.
You would like it a lot more for a $50,000 weekly paycheck.
That's true. I'll like anything for $50,000 weekly.
Yeah. Yeah, they start flashing those dollar signs in front of your face, and I think you'd probably kick in Antarctica.
Yeah,
I'd snap there for sure. Yeah, man, it's different. I'm excited for you. I not that I'm a scout, but I get the same sense of that you're kind of up there in the top of the draft class. It's cool to hear that it's sort of a unique year where they need a lot of people could
yeah.
be at least interested, and the class
Not
isn't super
all
big.
years are created equally.
No, the year I came out, I think one snapper found a team that next year out of 32 teams.
Yeah.
Only one team needed one. And mine was a little bit the opposite. Nobody really needed a snapper. And there was like 12 good snappers.
I'd argue positionally, it's the hardest to make it in the league as a long snapper.
100%, dude.
I think it's harder in quarterback, harder in running, like any position. I think snapper is the hardest because there's one per team, and if you're a veteran, like the skill gap is just not big enough. Like they'll get rid of you for cheaper.
And it's also a thing where like versus other, like if you're a running back or a linebacker, you got to do some serious work to stay in shape if you're not being paid to be on a team and be a professional football player. So the likelihood of you being ready, like you fall off if you don't get cut, or if you don't get picked up for a year, you're probably like, all right, I'm done. Like that's it. I can't maintain this. Whereas like specialists, snappers, there's guys that I played with or played against that are my age who are still in the pool of like free agents. They're staying ready. I still follow them on Instagram. They're still out there getting their sessions in. They're hoping that a team calls, and they're 30 years old. Like, so you're competing against the guys in your class, but every other class, there's 2 or 3 or 4 guys who are still holding on to hope. And it's like, man, it makes it real tough.
One per team, just one.
Yeah, and there might be 2 or 3 teams a year. They're like, yeah, we're gonna switch our guy. So
like Casey,
Kreider,
he's like year 12, something like that.
Yeah, I think this is year 11 that he'll be going into. I need to get him back on the show. He's I think he's the most tenured Hawk still in the league. So
he's got the most years under his belt.
I think so. Micah Hyde retired. I don't think there's anybody. Yeah, I think Casey's the oldest guy. Let's make sure I don't miss anything because that I had on my list. Oh, Coach Woods.
Oh,
great. I'm assuming you have a great relationship with Coach Woods. Pretty much everybody does. You can talk about him as a coach and just as a mentor and a guy who's been there for you over the last 4 years. But yeah, give me your thoughts on that, and then tell me how you found out that he was headed to Michigan State and what you thought about all that.
Yeah, well, he called me in first. I was the first specialist he called in to tell him that he was going to Michigan State. And he said something like he had been telling all the players, like all 4 years I was there, that like you need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations in order to grow, and like just things like that. And he's like, this is me, because I've been in Iowa for so long and my family's here, and this is an uncomfortable way to go out and grow and put myself in uncomfortable situations, because he said point blank he wants to be a head coach someday. Yep. And obviously you saw like Coach Wallace got the assistant head coaching job. So I think maybe he thought that the writing was on the wall for that one.
I think it's pretty clear. Our speculation from the outside is like, hey, that associate head coach role is something that a lot of organizations, teams are doing now. And it is sort of, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but from the outside, it looks like pretty much a nod to, hey, I mean, Coach Ferentz self-suspended himself for one game, and Coach Wallace was the guy who stepped in for that day. So,
I mean, I think Coach Wallace is a really good coach too. Like he also has that like you have to have kind of that like charisma, you know, like the respect level. Like when you walk into a room, guys got to be like, oh, okay, here's the head coach, you know, like
Drew Stevens.
Yeah. Yeah, but
kick it through the fucking uprights.
He got the assistant head coaching spot at Michigan State, which, I mean, I'm not saying like I don't really think he's hurting for money, but it's also like it's like a $600,000 pay raise, you know? Like,
yeah, no. If I know Coach Woods, the dollar signs are not there is not a reason for that. I believe you're right. I think him and Coach Wallace on Iowa's staff are the two guys that everyone's kind of looking at across the country right now. Like they could be the next head coach somewhere, like that someone takes a chance on. And
I think they both could be too. Like they're both good. Like they both have.
I'm telling you right now, in 10 years, Coach Woods and Coach Wallace are both going to be head coaches in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
two of the 18 teams. I promise you, it's going to happen. Like it's going to be so sick too.
I believe it. I bet on that. Yeah, but I had something else I was going to say about that.
Why didn't you guys run any? You guys didn't run any fakes the last few years. What the hell are you going? What's going on over there?
You could get mad at Tori for that one. Do you remember Ohio State 2022?
I mean, you guys got beat pretty bad.
It was in the shoe. We got whooped, and Tori on fourth down ran it and didn't get the fake. You remember
I don't remember that somehow.
It would have been going towards like the base of the shoe, like where the big flag is, going that direction. It was a rip, and instead of punting it, he ran it. And at first, I was like, "Oh dang, we didn't get it. We didn't get the first down. Everybody's pissed." And then I look over and I see dudes are like ripping Tori on the sideline, like ripping him. Like Coach Ferentz ran over there and ripped him.
It wasn't
Coach
called.
Woods ripped him. It wasn't called. He did it himself. And I think that like scarred our coaching staff, like personally. Man. Because we already play it like really safe. We don't call fakes because we just put it in the hands of our special teams. But yeah, I think that like put the nail on the coffin. Like,
well, we had prior experience
at Ohio State. We actually tried to call another fake the last time we were there, and we called a timeout right before we got it. We got it. I mean, it was like a yard we had to get, but called timeout before it. But I mean, I would assume that plays a big part in why we don't do fakes.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can say more about Coach Woods if you had something else, but otherwise I was just gonna thank you for coming on and giving us your time, man.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what I wanted to say about that.
I don't know. It's cool that he called you in first. Kind of a respectful thing.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, he doesn't have to do that. I'm done. Like he can't take me with him. Like he took Reese
No.
with him, obviously. Which
Yeah.
I mean, he says he didn't take Reese with him, but like
I,
I don't know. People are
you got to
loyal
put your
to the coaches. They're not
Yeah,
really.
you got to put yourself in Reese's shoes there. He came across the world for Coach Woods, basically.
Plus, Coach Woods is who recruited him. Like, I mean, that's
Right.
another inside piece. Is like you're going to be more loyal to the guy who gave you the chance than you are to like the overall, like just the logo. You know.
I know the one thing I wanted to ask about is you set a couple records, but you've got the all-time most field goals. Took out Nate Kading on all-time most field goals as a Hawkeye this past season.
Yeah, you got a lot of attempts.
Yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, dude, you got to make them, and you got to stay at a school nowadays, and you got to
That's true.
you got to keep the job. Do you even think about that? Did you ever even think about it? Take a second to celebrate, feel good about it, or was it just, it is what it is?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, I don't know if you know my dad, but he's not very bashful when it comes to like my accomplishments. He's get every chance he get to tell people how amazing I am, which I honestly do not like.
When you become a dad someday, you'll understand
I'll
that.
understand, hopefully. But he tells me, I mean, it's like sometimes after the game, he'll be like, "You just broke this," and I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I mean, like in terms of like records and stuff, the thing that I really wanted was I was really close to having a career percentage of 80%. And so, like, this is kind of like a thing. There's another thing I could say now that I'm done in the program, but going into the bowl game, I knew that I needed to go 2 for 2 or better to get to the 80%. And I got exactly 2 for 2. And it was in the field goal range that like has usually been my trouble range, like the 40 to 49. So yeah, I mean, my in terms of that, like probably my proudest accomplishment is the 80%. Like that's the one I like the most is the 80% career percentage.
Yeah, that's solid. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I speak for probably all of Hawkeye Nation in saying that we're thrilled to have you for the last 4 years, and we're happy you're in the black and gold. Now we got to replace you. We got to replace every face in that room, including coach. So it's going to be an interesting.
It's going to be very interesting to see.
It's crazy. But thank you again for coming on, giving us your time, and we wish you the best going towards the draft and hopefully catching on in the league.
Yeah, thank you. If it does come down to it, I would love to come back on with league experiences, manifesting.
We would love to have it.
Yeah.
We would love to a year from now hear about Drew Stevens' first year as a starting kicker in the NFL.
I can't wait to see how the new Iowa special teams is going to look too. It's going to be interesting.
I think everybody is.
It's really hard to replace what we like. Replacing all those pieces is tough.
It's going to be one interesting puzzle to piece together. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode. Hope you enjoyed Drew. Got to learn a little bit more about him, and we'll continue to grab some of Drew's teammates as we move forward here. No episode on, at least right away, on Monday. The Super Bowl is on Sunday, and I'm not going to get anybody to record for that on Sunday night. And so I might come up with something on Monday-ish or not. Maybe you'll hear us next Thursday, hopefully with a Hawkeye offensive lineman, if I can get them lined up. We'll see you then. Peace.